Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to another Wild Rift video. And in today's video, I'll be playing Draven in the Dragon Lane. But in this video, you may see that the video is gonna be insanely long. And the reason is that I'm really gonna get very deep into how to build Draven. I'm gonna give you guys a very comprehensive item guide on Draven because there is so many things that you can do on Draven build-wise. And I'll tell you every single one of them. So if you want to just go to the gameplay, you can skip the build part. But if you really want to get into Draven, I definitely recommend you to listen this one out because I'm going to tell you so much because there's like a million ways that you can build Draven. And I've tried a lot of them. I've tried every build basically. And I'm going to tell you guys what I saw, and I asked some people around as well, and I'll just tell you everything. So let's immediately get into it, right? With Draven. So, the way that I used to build Draven was just, Bloodthirster, then you go for the Infinity Edge, and then Solari, blah, blah, blah. And while this is a good build, you start with the Bloodthirster, it's good. It's not the best, guys. It's just not the most efficient. Let me tell you why. So, first of all, you have a build. So this is the first scenario. Let's say you wanna have sustain. In 80% of your games, the way that you want to start is with a Vampiric Scepter. What this is going to do, 10% physical vamp, right? Like while you're farming, you're constantly healing back up to full HP. This is generally going to be the best way to start with the Draven. The Vampiric Scepter, regardless of what you're building, start with the Vampiric Scepter. So if you start with this item, you're going to have nice damage and the healing. Amazing. But let's say you have a support that can heal you. If you have a Soraka, if you have a Nami, any other support? Sona, meh, because Sona doesn't really have that much healing. Basically, if you have a Soraka or a Nami, you do not go for the Vampiric Scepter. You have two choices. So first of all, you obviously start with the Longsword, right? You start with the Longsword when you play Draven. Let's say you got a kill in the early game, okay? Let's say you got a kill and the enemy, you guys have to listen very carefully because this is not going to be too easy. Let's say you got a kill in the early game and the enemy has an Enchanter support. So they have an ADC and an Enchanter support. That means that they will not have any armor, right? Like the Enchanter is not going to get armor and the Dragon Laner is not going to get armor. What you can do is... Wait. Where do I put it? What? Oh, I didn't click it. Boom! You go for the Serrated Dirk. This item, don't finish an item. Just go for the Serrated Dirk and then you build the rest. If you get a kill and you're against an Enchanter support and a Dragon Laner, just very squishy enemies, the Serrated Dirk is gonna absolutely destroy them. You will deal so much damage because Draven already has so much bonus physical damage with his first ability. And as I said, if you're snowballing, if you got that kill very early on in the game, you can choose to delay your build and go for the Serrated Dirk. This against a squishy enemy is gonna give you so much damage. It's crazy. I've tried it. It's absolutely crazy. Keep in mind though, you're not gonna have any lifesteal. It's not like the Vampiric Scepter, so you have to be careful with that. But as I said, if you already got a kill, you're kind of snowballing, and that's the whole power of Draven. You can skip out some items and just go for the Serrated Dirk straight away. Now, let me tell you about something else. You can also start with a BF sword, but I just don't like the BF sword start. For example, you can start with a BF sword, then you can go for the Vampiric Scepter like this. I do not like this. The better way to do it is like this. You start with the Vampiric Scepter and then you go for an Infinity Edge straight away. As I said, in 80% of your games, this is your build. Literally this. You go for the Vampiric Scepter, boots, Infinity Edge. And then, it's situational. Solari Charge Blade is really good if the enemy is squishy. However, you can also get a Mortal Reminder. Mortal Reminder if the enemy is tanky. You can get it as your second or third item. Now, why would you not get Cerulda's Grudge? Because Draven's first ability is an ability, right? It's an empowered attack. No, it's not. The way that the game works is, for example, Jinx's Rockets, Draven's empowered first ability, the axes, they do not count towards the Cerulda's Grudge. So you can never build a Cerulda's Grudge in these champions because you're never gonna get the slow. So you always go for the Mortal Reminder. There is another way to build Draven. Let's say you have a Vampiric Scepter and you keep getting kills. You go for the BF sword and then, you just keep getting kills. You keep snowballing. If, let's say you get a lot of kills with the Vampiric Scepter and the BF sword. This is... Oh, oops. Let me just remove items to make it a little easier for you to understand. Let's say this is your build. You know, you have a Vampiric Scepter, you have a BF Sword, and you have Boots. Let's say you've killed like 3 enemies, and you have 3,000 gold. You go back home, you can either get a Bloodthirster, or you can get an Infinity Edge, or you can get a Solari Charge Blade. What should you get? Let me tell you what you should get. If you're snowballing like that, boom, the Solaris Charge Blade. This, combined with these 2 items, is gonna deal so much damage as well, you know? And it gives you that attack speed, because you're already gonna have enough damage. That's the thing. You're already gonna have enough damage. So Solaris Charge Blade is gonna make you so much stronger in a situation like that, while you're snowballing the game. You know, when you have this Vampiric Scepter, the BF Sword, and then you go for that Solaris Charge Blade, insane snowballing potential. But if it's just a normal game, you know, if you haven't really snowballed too well, just go for the Infinity Edge. You know, after your Vampiric Scepter, you go for the Infinity Edge. Oops. So what do you do after this? First of all, make sure you get Boots. If you want even more healing, you get the Glutinous Greaves. If you want anti-CC, you get Mercury Threads. And if you want armor, you get Plated Steel Caps. All of these boots are viable on Draven. That's why I only have these boots here, because they're all viable. You go whatever you have to go for. So after this, you have choices. You can either finish your Bloodthirster, or you can straight up go for the Solaris Charge Blade, or you can go for the Mortal Reminder. Now the Mortal Reminder, so this build, I only recommend if you're against a really tanky opponent. You know, like if you're against an Alistar and they have a Wukong jungle and then also like a Darius in the Baron lane, that's when you go for this build. You know, you skip out on the damage, you just go for the Mortal Reminder. Because otherwise you're never really going to be able to kill their tanks. But in a normal game, you can either choose to finish the Bloodthirster for even more sustain, because this gives you the shield and of course, you know, the sustain. And Bloodthirster is really good to poke. Now, why am I saying it's good to poke? Because it gives you 50 attack damage. Compared to the Solaris Charge Blade, so Solaris Charge Blade is better in team fights, because in the long run, it's going to give you more damage. You know, this is going to give you more damage in the long run. But this is going to give you, oh, oops. This build, when you finish the Bloodthirster fast, is going to give you those big axes, right? It's going to give you that big poke damage. So if you want to be poking in your lane, you get the Bloodthirster. But if you're constantly team fighting, you skip the Bloodthirster and go for the Solaris Charge Blade. So that's, you know, keep that in your head. So after your Bloodthirster, again, it's situational. You either go for the Solaris Charge Blade or the Mortal Reminder. Whatever you feel like you need. If the enemy is tanky, you go for the Mortal Reminder, otherwise Solaris Charge Blade. And obviously, as your last item, Mortal Reminder. If you have a Serrated Dirk at this point, you can either choose to finish the Edge of Night, or you can sell it and build other items. Because in the late game, it's of course not going to be as useful as the other items, you know, because it falls off in the late game. So if you've built that, if you've built the Serrated Dirk, you can either choose to finish the Edge of Night. If you really want that shield, you know, the Edge of Night, which is this item. If you really want that active, the shield, then you can finish the Edge of Night. But I recommend selling the item and buy something else. About Death Dance, I've tried it and I just don't really like it. It's just, I don't know, I don't really like this item. Maybe as your 5th item, sure, maybe as your 5th, you know, if the enemy has a lot of burst damage and you want to have the Death Dance to delay that burst damage, maybe as your 5th item. But I just prefer Phantom Dancer, you know, over the Death Dance, because it's going to give you that, what is it called? Oh my god, the shield. Yes, it's gonna give you that shield. It's a bit of an overkill on your crit though, but if you're constantly team fighting, this one is nice. Death Stance, it's just like if the enemy has anti-healing, they're gonna be taking away that healing anyways. Guardian Angel is amazing too. You know, if the enemy has a lot of attack damage, you go for the Guardian Angel as your last item. So I think I've talked about a lot there. Let me see if I missed anything. Oh, Bladed Rune King. I don't like Bladed Rune King. It's decent against tanks, I guess. It's a good item in team fights, but it just has no early game power. Like, if you compare it to the Infinity Edge, which gives you 55 attack damage, and then the Vampiric Scepter, which gives you 20 attack damage for a mere 1,200 gold. If you compare it to the Blade only gives you 20 attack damage for 3,100 gold. But of course, it gives you attack speed and the passive, but keep in mind, with this item, you're just not gonna poke the enemy hard. But if you do want to go for this item, the way that you do it is you don't build it first. You build a, where is it? BF Sword. Make sure you get a BF Sword. So the way that you want to do it is you get a Vampiric Scepter, then you get a BF Sword, and then you finish your Bladed Rune King. Make sure you get that BF Sword for the early game power. It's really important. Do not rush a Bladed Rune King. It's not worth it, okay? So if you go for the Blade, Vampiric Scepter, BF Sword, and then the Blade of the Rune King. Okay, that's the way that you want to build it then. And then rest, you know, Yuma's Ghostblade, terrible item on Draven. You don't want to go for it. Rapid Fire Cannon, terrible item. It's just not worth it. You know, it really isn't. Duskblade of Draktar, no. Static Shift, if you're snowballing really hard, I mean, it can work, but again, Solari Chargement is just better than a Static Shift. I've tried Trinity Force as well, because it made sense. But the thing is, it's not worth it, because Draven has so much raw damage that the Sheen passive is just not quite worth it from the Trinity Force. And the item is very expensive. Maw of Marmortius is good as your third or fourth item if the enemy has a lot of magic damage. You do not want to go for the Wit's End, it doesn't fit Draven. Let me see, Storm Razor, no. Navori Quickblade, no, never. So that is really it. Let me talk about the enchantments. Stasis enchant is good against Fizz, Zed, you know, those types of champions where you need a stasis against, or against a cameo to block her ultimate. Locket is good if you want a Locket. It's a good one on Draven. Protobelt is really good for you to be able to dash to the enemy and be very aggressive. Quicksilver is really good if the enemy has big CC like Morgana, Varus, Ashe. Quicksilver is really, really good. You really need it in those situations. And then the rest you don't go for. So that is it about the build. Let's now talk about the runes. Conqueror, always Conqueror. Without a Conqueror, you're gonna lack damage in the late game. Second rune, you have a few choices. Hunter Vampirism is really good in the mid-late game. You know, it gives you that bonus attack damage and the bonus Vampirism. Really, really good. Brutal is, I mean, okay. Sure, in the early game you'll do a lot of damage, but they nerfed Brutal, so it's just not quite worth it, because in the late game it's absolutely useless. Champion Rune is really good if you are really good on Draven. It gives you that 8% raw bonus damage in the early game, which is really good. But as I said, you know, you don't really need it. Hunter Vampirism is just going to give you that reliable early game and also just nice late game. Then third rune, Hunter Titan, if they have a lot of CC. Otherwise, you go Adaptive Carapace. If the enemy doesn't have a lot of CC, or they just don't have CC that's going to annoy you, go for the Adaptive Carapace to secure your early game win. Fourth rune, Sweet Tooth, because Sweet Tooth is broken. So for your spells, you go for Barrier and Flash, because you already have enough damage. You can go for Exhaust, by the way. If the enemy has like all-in champions, you know, like an Evelyn, like Katarina, Akali, you can exhaust them when they dive you, you know, or a Zed. It's really good. So you're basically sacrificing your barrier for exhaust. You can choose each one. Barrier is always good, but exhaust is really good against those assassins, guys. Keep that in mind. So finally, enough about the build. Let's now get into the gameplay. Alright, on to the gameplay. So, I think I put in the title of this video that this is gonna be the get ahead on Draven challenge, you know, 1k per minute. You guys are really gonna love this video, you know, you guys are really gonna love this. Okay, first of all, I'm doing a skin giveaway. I'm giving away 10 legendary skins. All you have to do is put down a comment under the video. Sorry that it's not 15, I changed it to 10 and legendary because of the gifting cap in Wild Rift. Unfortunately, my support is not coming. So here I'm deciding to stay in my lane. Wait, why is it like this? Give me a second, guys. There we go, I fixed it. With Draven, the obvious thing is early game, right? Like you can absolutely smash the enemy in the early game. And I should actually rephrase it. It's not you can smash, you have to smash. You have to smash the enemy. Like look at how I'm playing. I'm already, look, boom. Ah, my first ability went off there, but look, boom. This is what you do. Vayne is never ever gonna outtrade me. Look at this. Boom. And let me tell you the second reason why I am trading like this with Vayne. As you can see, this was not quite the best trade with Vayne because I took a lot of damage from the minions. Why did I trade like that anyways? Look at my support and look at the enemy support. I have a Nami, he has she has an Alistar. So against a composition like this, you don't want to sleep in your lane. You trade, you constantly go in. Like look at this. I'm constantly looking, boom, you see that? Constant poking. This is also why I said during the build part, you don't want to rush the Blade of the Rune King if you go for it. You always want to get raw attack damage, raw. Raw attack damage is the BF Sword, Serrated Dirk, Vampiric Scepter, raw attack damage. Jax is ganking, I'm not afraid. As a Draven, you are not afraid. You need to be calculated. Like look, I'm moving and I'm fighting and boom, 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 boom. Look, constant fighting. And another important thing that I have to say about Draven, by the way. Ouch, what was that? Another important thing. Oh, I need to flash. There we go. If I didn't flash, he would have pushed me under the turret. Draven's third ability you have to use. Look. Don't sleep on the third ability. Because some people may think, you know, Draven is all... I should get a kill here. I have to get a kill. There we go. First blood. And that's another kill. As you can see, this is the power of Draven. Being incredibly oppressive in your lane. You have to. Again, as I said, you have to. You have to play Draven like this. Because now the enemy Vayne is going to lose a lot of farm. Look, Vi wants to get another kill. Now this is an interesting call. I am pretty low, but I don't really like this. I'm still following up just to see what happens. So let's take a look at what happens. We're getting kills. Oh, I got the kill. Nice. Totally worth it. But Katarina is destroying all of us. Now the question arises, is this worth it? Enemy Katarina got 3 kills, but I got 2 kills on Draven. Let me give you the answer. Yes, this is worth it. So even though Katarina is getting fed, look at the items that I have right now. Look at this. This is what I talked about during the build part. I have boots, I have a vampiric scepter, and I have a, what is it called? BF sword. So I could have had a Bloodthirster here. I could have had a Bloodthirster, right? But a Bloodthirster wouldn't have given me the movement speed from the boots. Like, I could have bought a Bloodthirster without my boots. Instead, I still have the same attack speed, attack damage of the Bloodthirster. I actually have even more. I have more attack damage than the Bloodthirster. Bloodthirster gives like 50 attack damage, and my current items give me 60 attack damage. And I have my boots. That's why I didn't go for the Bloodthirster and I went for these boots. And the reason that I did not go for a Serrated Dirk in this game, by the way, is because I'm against an Alistar. Look at this. Boom. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the damage. Jax is probably gonna... Yeah, I'm dead. Is this worth? Yes. Yes, this is worth. Like, this is fine. I got my passive bounty again, so it's okay. Of course it's not amazing, but what can I do about the enemy Katarina rotating and my Ahri not rotating? It's fine. I got 2 kills with the Nami, and they killed me. It's okay. What was I talking about? Yes. So yeah, in this game, you do not go for a Serrated Dirk because they have a Jax and an Alistar. Serrated Dirk is just not going to be as useful against them. So that's why I'm just rushing for my damaging items. So let's take a look at this. Obviously, we have to fight. I'm insanely strong right now. So I have to be a little careful of the Camille though. So I'm positioning myself carefully. But look at this. The raw damage that you deal is just absolutely incredible. We even stole the dragon. Amazing. But look at this. Boom. I'm being very aggressive here, but I'm going in, killing the Alistar. Camille, I'm kiting her. Look, I'm not running away, I'm fighting her. As Draven, you don't run away. You need to be super aggressive. Look at this. Boom. Boom. I baited her with my barrier and I killed her. Now there is a Jax. Boom. Triple kill, guys. As a Draven, you are a powerhouse. And now I can get an item. Which item am I gonna get, guys? That's right, the Solaris Charge Blade. You know what's funny? This is like the only Draven game that I've played this entire month, and I'm already playing like this. So Keith says in the chat, don't forget to like and subscribe. Exactly, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give the video a like, subscribe. Yeah. What am I saying? Why am I getting these brain farts? My map awareness, yes. In the chat I mentioned that I had bad map awareness, which is correct. Even though I'm pretty much dominating this game, I'm gonna be real honest with you guys here. I had no idea that Katarina was rotating both times. And that's a mistake. That's obviously not good for me. I genuinely had no idea Katarina was coming. Why did I have no idea? And let me tell you that when you play Draven, it's gonna happen more often. The reason is Draven is such a mechanically intensive champion that it's actually gonna be really hard for you to focus on the map as well. So while you're super busy catching your axes and everything like that, it can be hard to look at the map, right? Like, it's of course hard to catch your axes as a Draven. It's not an easy champion to play. So my tip would be, you have to play a lot of Draven to get super comfortable with catching your axes. Then your map awareness can be good. Like, as you can see, I am really good at catching my axes, but I'm not good at catching my axes and looking at the map constantly. It's just really hard, guys. It's just really, really hard to do. What can I tell you? It's not like any other champion. You cannot just have your eyes away. You constantly have to look at what's happening. I'm fighting her, being aggressive. I know my Nami is here. He just used his ultimate. I'm still hitting him just to get my stacks, but now his ultimate ran out. I should be able to kill him. His ult ran out. Boom, boom. Oh my god, the redemption. No, I missed out on like 270 gold. The redemption. I need to go back here. And I really think I will get an Infinity Edge. Like, in this situation, Again, I skip out the Bloodthirster. I go for the Infinity Edge. Please go for the Infinity Edge, please. No, no, no way. No, why did I go for the Bloodthirster? No, that is so stupid. I do. That is. Okay, let me tell you guys why this is such a stupid. Why this was so stupid. Does it look like I need a Bloodthirster in this game, guys? No! Let me tell you multiple reasons why I should not have built a Bloodthirster. First of all, I just want damage right now. I want to do as much damage as I can. Secondly, I have a Solaris Charge Blade, which effectively makes my critical rate around 75%. Infinity Edge gives you 30% more damage on your crits. Why the hell would I go for a Bloodthirster? Let me give you the fourth reason why Bloodthirster sucks here. Enemy has a Katarina. Katarina's ultimate has grievous wounds. Like, look at this, look at this. I'm already dealing so much damage with the Bloodthirster. Imagine how much it would have been with the Infinity Edge. Just imagine with an Infinity Edge. Can you guys imagine how much it would have been? Yes, a lot. Like, look at this, boom. I'm dealing half of Jax's HP with a Bloodthirster. It would have been 60% of his HP if I went for the Infinity Edge. Look, I'm fighting. Of course I'm not afraid. Look at this, boom, boom, boom. Don't be afraid. I'm dashing out of her. I dashed out of her her knives so I wouldn't get hit out of it, right? I flashed out of it and that's how I got the kills. Now imagine having an Infinity Edge. How hard I would have destroyed them there. Look at my gold count, by the way. This is how Draven works, by the way. You get so much gold for kills because of his passive. By the way, if you didn't know how Draven's passive works, the way that it works, that's another free kill, by the way. They should give it to me. Like, a good team would give this to Draven. There we go, they did. So let me tell you how Draven's passive works exactly. So when you get one stack, that first stack gives you 50 gold when you get a kill. 50, 50. And every single stack after that first stack gives you 4 gold per stack. So if you have 10 stacks, it gives you 50 plus 4 times 9, which is 36. So it gives you 68 bonus gold. If you have 100 stacks, it gives you 50 plus 4 times 99, which is 396. So you get 446 gold. So that's how it works. And that is why if you get constant kills, you're constantly claiming that 50 bonus gold. That's how you can absolutely snowball the enemy, because it's gonna snow. It's, you know, it counts like a lot. And look at my build right now. This build just they have absolutely no chance to win a fight against me. The only way that the enemy can win this game is if they just completely avoid fighting, because I am pretty much gonna two-shot them right now. Even the Alistar has no chance. I have Last Whisper. So I will decimate them, absolutely decimate them. I believe I'm like 8,000 gold ahead in this game right now, of the Vayne. Oh! I got the kill with my ult just in case she would kill my Draven. My Garen. Wow, look at that. Look at that damage. Oh, yo, yo, look at this damage. This is Draven, guys. If you snowball the game, this is Draven. If you don't snowball the game, then this is not Draven. But I gave you all the tips that you need to snowball the game. Of course, it's not gonna happen every game. Of course. I got destroyed when playing Draven too. But as I said, this is like the only Draven game that I played this month. But I'm pretty good at Draven. So the game happened like this. So I was like, yeah, why the hell wouldn't I upload it, right? Because it's a good game for you guys to see. But this is how you play Draven when you're snowballing. You know, constant fighting. You don't want to farm. You never want to farm. Unless you're a bit behind on Draven, of course, but you want to constantly fight. Especially against the Vayne. Draven is a hard counter to Vayne, by the way, if you didn't know already. So if enemy picks a Vayne, you pick Draven and you're super oppressive in your lane. You have to be. I'm going to repeat. You have to be. Now I have 4 items. And then when you get to this point of the game, it's like pretty much game over. It should be game over because you will deal so much damage. All you have to do is just don't get caught off guard. If the enemy catches you in a 4 versus 1 situation, sure, they can kill you. But all you have to do is just stay next to your support and the enemy shouldn't be able to kill you. And if they kill you, you know, if all 5 of them dive you, sure, they might kill you, but then all 5 of them are gonna die because your teammates are gonna kill them, right? So let's take a look at this. I'm just, again, oppressive. Look, boom. Look at that damage. One basic attack is 20% of Alistar's HP. You wanna constantly be oppressive. Boom. Look at that. I'm not leaving them any room to do anything. If I cannot hit them, I will... If I cannot hit them, I will hit the turret. Look, no chance to breathe. This is how you play Draven. Hit the turret, you know, do something. They're going on me. Again, I'm not afraid. I should have used stasis. I should have used stasis. If I used stasis here, I would have gotten a pentakill. My mistake here was I didn't use stasis when Katarina all-in'd me. So the way that I should have done this fight is I should have used my ultimate, which I did, and right after my ultimate, use stasis. If I did that, pentakill. Like, it was definitely a pentakill. So, you know, even though I'm playing this game very well, you can clearly see that my lack of having a lot of games on Draven is clearly showing here, because what was I saying? ما بري ليه؟ قلنا ود ما تكبت ليه مشكلة؟ ود ما تكبت لا يعني قال ليه مشكلة منها؟ ما ود لا. ليه مشكلة؟ هرب أخلق لها. 5 minutes, 2, 3, 4 minuten zoiets. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen now. Again, fighting. They should have no chance to win. My team is fighting. Well, actually, now they do. It's a 4 versus 5, but yeah. Look at this. Boom, boom, boom. He's dead with 2 shots. Boom, boom. He's dead as well. Like when you snowball on Draven. I want to get another kill, by the way, Camille. He should be dead. Ah, why did it not cancel it? It should have cancelled it. He even flashed my ultimate. Are you kidding me? How did I not get that kill? Normally, Draven's third ability cancels every dash. I'm not quite sure why it didn't cancel the hookshot of Camille, to be honest. But normally, Draven's third ability cancels dashes, you know, like Alistar's dash, like Vi dashing, like... it just cancels it. It knocks them away. So yeah, we won the game. The game was like 15 minutes. Let's take a look at how much gold I was ahead of the Vayne. Alright, guys? Let's just take a look at how much gold I was ahead. Wait for it. Come on, click. What was I doing? Why am I not clicking the continue button? There we go. I was master here. So 13-minute game. 13-minute game and I was 12,000 gold ahead. Wait, what? Wait. Let me see again. Wait, was I 12,000 gold ahead? No way. Did I just see it wrong? I think I saw it wrong. How much gold was I ahead? Wait, let's just wait for the... wait, was I actually so much ahead? No, I did 12,000 more damage. Lol, never mind. I was? Wait, I was 12,000 gold. I was 11,000 gold ahead. What? 11,000 gold ahead in a near 14-minute game. So thank you guys so much for watching. I believe I justified the title right there. And I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.